Hey, what up, sir?
DJ Roy, it's great to see you again.
Good to see you, man. I was just talking about sound clash. Now we're going to talk about car crash and what people do when they get into a crash. Because sometimes when you get into an accident, you tend to think that it's not serious. So when you get into a crash, when you are in a car that collides with another car, when you are the passenger in a car that collides with your car, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're a passenger in a car,
yeah,
and the car gets into an accident, you could never be at fault when you're a passenger, so you must have a case.
Ooh, I'll tell you something. DJ Roy, I've been around the block a bunch of times. You know that both for the insurance companies,
right?
Both for your amazing listeners out there, for the plaintiffs. And I've seen it, man. I've seen it where even the passenger is found at fault.
Woo!
Okay, it can happen. I mean, you can't take anything for granted out there. You need to make sure you have a lawyer. And I'll tell you something. I learned that lesson big time with another law firm that was too cheap, honestly, to take their case all the way. And they got shot in the foot when they found out that it was their client, the passenger, who was partially responsible for the accident because she was distracting her driver in a major way. I mean, I don't want to start getting anything that's not appropriate for families, okay?
What a distraction.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. It was a shocker to their lawyer because they didn't have representation at that deposition. That would never happen with Gregory Specker and Associates. It was a firm that did not want to send a lawyer down. They said, our client's just a passenger. Our client won't be found responsible. But it was found out that she was responsible and hey, like I said, we got to keep this clean. But
the PG program.
Yeah. I'll tell you another one. That comes to mind. A favorite defense of the insurance companies is what is called the seatbelt defense.
Oh.
Okay. Now I know the seatbelt can be uncomfortable, and you don't want to wear it in the back seat. The law has changed that it's best to wear it in the back seat.
True, yeah.
But whatever it might be, if the person who's injured is not wearing a seatbelt, those insurance companies, they like to bring up the defense. Hey, it's your own fault because you weren't wearing a seatbelt. So you know what? It's never something you could take for granted. You gotta get the right lawyer who knows what they're talking about, has been around the block, has seen it all, okay? And you gotta have a law firm with a team that's seen it all, because you can't take anything for granted.
Right. And the thing is, what I tell our listeners, don't overthink it. Let the attorneys that know, let the firm that will go the extra mile, that will find out where you stand, let them represent you. 888-797-7735, 888-797-7735. So question, because I was just on the Southern State a minute ago.
Sure. And
it was clear. It was felt like 100 degrees. It's clear, crystal clear. And all of a sudden, a pouring rain came down. You could barely see outside the windshield. If someone's to run into someone's back in a situation like that, who do we sue? Do we sue, Mother Nature? The rain just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. All right. I
asked the strangest question, don't I?
You asked the best questions, because these are things that people don't think about. They're things that we have seen and things that we address. Now, I'll tell you, if a person a driver, is faced with a situation like that, now, nothing's absolute, but I would say the general rule in a situation like that would be is the driver should make every effort to slow down and avoid anything that can come ahead of that driver, meaning try to bring the vehicle over to the side, try to stop, because, there are cars up ahead. One should not just keep going 100 miles an hour in that situation. Now, there is some things that if they are totally unexpected, there's they would fall into the category of what we might call an emergency. Okay, it's called the emergency doctrine. When an unanticipated event that is outside the control of the driver, and the driver didn't do anything to contribute to the condition.
Okay.
Right? They were free and clean of any their own negligence or culpable conduct, as we say. Then potentially, then we can allege what we call that emergency doctrine in favor of that driver, so the driver will be free and clear of responsibility, and whoever else is responsible will pay the bill. But those situations happen, and we deal with those types of situations. But I would say any situation, one of your listeners out there, you come across a situation like that, heavy rains come down, and you can't see what's going in front of you, you would be best bringing your car as safely as you can over to the side, bring the car to a stop to avoid any accident.
All right. Again, call this number if you do get into an accident. Call this number to find out where you stand. Call this number so you can get the attorneys to work on you getting compensated for your injuries. The number is 888-797-7735. 888-797-7735. That is the number you should be dialing. That is the number you should be calling. Now, what about car pileups when there's more than one or two or three cars in the accident? Does it start with the first car that caused the accident and it goes down the line, or is it the one at the end of the accident?
Great questions. All right. Look, every case, every situation has to be evaluated based on the particular facts, of course. Okay, but absolutely, potentially, any one of the drivers in the line of cars can be responsible. Generally, it's the car in the rear that is what we call the target, because the default belief is that the last car started the chain.
Okay.
Yeah, but I could tell you though, as you like bringing it up, DJ Roy, and it is one of the credits that I have is that I worked for those insurance companies for a decade and a half about, and one of my favorite jury verdicts was the time when my own client was a big pocket was the target on a pile up, just like you described, on the Belt Parkway, and I set it up. That's what we lawyers try to do, almost like a game of chess. I say, right, so that my client, the target, was found not negligent. Okay, it was the big money, the big target, and was found not negligent. And I'm even going to tell you how I did it. Okay, because there was a car up ahead on the Belt Parkway, and and that car was written up on the police report as a disabled vehicle. However, each witness on the witness stand said that the vehicle was parked on the Belt Parkway. Every witness said the vehicle was parked. Now, parking on a highway is against the law. So I pointed out to the judge, I said, Judge, if that car is parked on the highway and all the evidence points to that, even though the police report said something else, the police report is not evidence. And I've told you, police make mistakes all the time. It's what we call as hearsay, the police report, for the most part. In this particular case, because all the witnesses said that vehicle was parked on the highway, that vehicle, which was not even sued, their law firm should have sued them, but it was not even sued, was found responsible for the accident. And I got him off. I got my client off. But now, as you know, DJ Roy, I was working for them now. Now I'm working for you. I'm working for your listeners out there. But that's the type of thing that we would do. That's the type of thing I would do on behalf of my clients, the insurance companies. But I had a client ask me, he said, why did you come over here? Why are you doing now the plaintiffs? And I said, you know what? Especially Gregory Spector and Associates, they care. They care about people. It's not where the clients are not just numbers. Clients are not just cases. They're not just files. And now I'm working for injured people, and it's far more rewarding getting them the compensation that they need, making their lives whole.
People, you see what I mean? a law firm we have in our community that really cares about your injuries, cares about making sure that you get compensated for your injuries to the fullest, and not afraid to go to trial, because a lot of attorneys, let's see if we can sell this. I don't want to go to trial. Save the number, call the number, remembercrashinjury.com, 888-797-7735, 888-797-7735. That's the number. Call it today if you have any questions, and get the super attorneys at the law offices of Gregory, Spector, and Associates. Matthew, my friend, anything else you'd like to add? I should say, Saul, my friend, anything else you'd like to add?
You know what? You can call me Matthew anytime, because he is a great lawyer, a first-class gentleman, and a great guy. So you can call me Matthew anytime.
All right, Saul. I got you.
I've been called worse.
You've been called worse.
All right.
Well, Saul, as always, man, a pleasure having you in studios, and we'll speak again soon.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.